Firstly, Shaun, good win to begin November on Saturday, securing our place in the second round. What was your thoughts on what you saw from that game?
Yeah, no, delighted to win, delighted to be in the hat. That was the priority before the game. That was the aim, the target, and from the game, watching it back, first half, it felt a bit frustrating at the time, as in terms of we didn't feel. I wouldn't say we felt comfortable in the game in the first half. Now, when you watch it back, actually, we had a bit more control than what we probably felt at the time, and we were probably one or two passes away of just that little bit of quality, the final pass ultimately, which actually would have led to a couple of really good opportunities and likely goals. So when you watch it back, you sort of see the game slightly different and actually realise we were very close to getting in before the sending off anyway. And then second half, thought we were really good against 10 minutes. Not always easy, as we found different times, teams playing against us in the past, at times this season. It's not always easy to break down a low block, and I thought the players were patient and waited for the moment and then drilled it home really, and it could have been by a couple more in the end really.
I'm sure you'd imagine that at this point the lads are probably getting used to playing against with a man advantage, I suppose, or even two-man advantage on some occasions.
Yeah, I think that's no coincidence. I think that's the way we play, the forward runs we have, the sort of pressure we try and put teams under, I think leads to them situations. Not always the case. Saturday was maybe a bit more of just a rash challenge from a player, but in general I think when we are so front-footed in the way we sort of go after teams and try and get on top of teams, I don't think that's if it was a once or twice, I think you could argue it's just coincidence. The fact it's happened time and time again probably says it's something to do with the way we're playing. So hopefully that can continue. It's obviously, if you can end up with a man advantage, two-man advantage, as you said sometimes, then obviously that's can be a big help in games. So we don't try and get the opposition sent off, so to speak, but with the way we play, we put people in uncomfortable positions where they have to make challenges that they maybe don't want to make.
And looking at the squad as well, I'm sure it's pleasing for yourself and the rest of the coaching staff to see Jason Van Thorsen back for a full 90. I believe that's his first start of the season, and Gezatori as well, playing that full 90. I mean, how pleased were you with their individual performances?
Yeah, no, really pleased. Jason just brings an energy to the team. He's non-stop as in terms of the runs he makes, and that's one of the biggest parts of our game is forward runs, as in terms of different people as well from different positions, and he just brings something different to what we've probably got on, especially on that right hand side at the minute. So it gives us another option. Obviously he can play in different roles. He obviously ended up inside the pitch in the second half, which was something different for him, but played a crucial part in the first goal with doesn't touch the ball, but a run that creates all the space for Harvey to get into. So that was really pleasing. Geezer, I thought he did really well when he came against Brentford, and then I thought he played well on Saturday. I thought he controlled things. Even in the first half an hour, I thought he was one of the ones that was one of our better performers, efficient with the ball, stopped counter-attacks at times, which is obviously a key part of that position for us. And I think in general he seems to be in a good place, so that's good for us obviously to have different competition in different places, and hopefully the players keep pushing each other to improve.
Next up for us now, Everton under-21s tomorrow night, final game of the Virtue Trophy. I mean, from your perspective, how important are these kind of games for helping with the rhythm and in terms of the sharpness for players that may not be in the starting lineup week in, week out?
Yeah, I think it's quite apparent with the changes we've made in the first two games how we look at the competition, as in terms of it's a good opportunity for players that are maybe out of the team to either players that have been injured to catch up minutes, players that have found themselves out of the team to sort of try and find what, like you said, their rhythm, but minutes most importantly, and then young players opportunities as well, because ultimately we met. Not just us, but as a club we have to make decisions on young players moving forward, which ones we think can sort of make that step up, and it's important to see them in that first team environment at different times. So it's a real good opportunity in loads of different ways, but that doesn't take away from the fact when we set up for these games we're still trying to win the games. Obviously there's different things we're looking for as well, like I've just said, but tomorrow night there'll be a team that's going out, and it'll be set up to try and allow them to perform well in their individual roles first and foremost, and then hopefully collectively they can perform well together and get a positive result.
And touching on, like you say, about the youth team players, we handed Alex Graham and Fortune Ono both their competitive debuts against Bradford. It's a real opportunity for the young lads, particularly as how well they're doing. They haven't lost all season so far.
Yeah, they've been performing really well by all accounts in their league season. Obviously, they won in the Youth Cup the other night, which was a great start for them. Hopefully, they can have another sort of journey like they did last season, as in terms of the Youth Cup run, because that was obviously amazing for them, and it's great for us to be able to see them on them sort of bigger occasions. Hence, the opportunities in the first team in the Virtue Trophy. It's good to see how they handle that pressure and things like that, because that's all part of being a footballer, not just the playing side. But hopefully we'll see tomorrow night who, if any more, get any opportunities or anything like that. But it's just important that we constantly put them in situations where it's different to what they're used to, and how they handle that, and that helps us long term see where we feel they may be able to get to.
Yeah, and looking at Everton specifically, I mean, they're also out of the competition, same as us. They lost heavily last time out against Bradford, but they're going to be a tough test. They put in first teamers such as Dwight McNeil and players like that of a good calibre. So we know whoever they play tomorrow, it's going to be a tough game. Yeah,
I think regardless of the team, who they pick, the players they have available, whatever it may be, that it'll be a tough test. Like you say, the game against Bradford was they played some really good stuff at times. They got caught on the ball a couple of times, which led to what I'd call cheap goals. Not necessarily where Bradford were just completely dominant, as in terms of carving them open at will, so to speak. So I don't think we should be fooled by that, and it's just another good opportunity for our players to, especially the ones that maybe not had as much exposure or not had as much opportunities to go out there and show what they can do and how they fit into the way we're trying to play.
Brilliant, thank you, Shaun.